What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about, today. So far, I guess, I'm going to kind of just get right down to it. The day isn't over yet when I'm recording this video. I think I've seen enough to do this video as of right now, and I want to try to get it out a little bit earlier, see if that, helps people kind of find the video, so bear with me. By the way, if you do like these kind of recaps, my just opinions on what's going on, make sure you leave a like. That really helps. Leaving a comment also helps if you have something to say. If not, no big deal. I want to talk about kind of the colossal failure I truly believe this is becoming for Amber's side. Of course, there's going to be different ways of looking at it, right? This is just my opinion. This is just how I'm looking at it. I've always said, and Johnny Depp has said, right, he's not a perfect individual. Johnny Depp has done drugs. Johnny Depp has done alcohol. Johnny Depp has tried to get off of them and on them and off of that. There's been a lot of stuff. He's done it for a variety of reasons in his life. And I guess jumping into today's court thing, well, what was going on? Well, from my understanding of it, it seems like Amber's side really has nothing. Okay, they have absolutely nothing to prove that he hit her, that he touched her in any way. So what they have instead, going to do, first they focus obviously on the specifics of why are you suing her, okay? Is she talking about you, like that kind of stuff? You can only sue her over these two lines. You can't sue her over anything else. That kind of BS that happened yesterday. That was yesterday. Today, it's more of character assassination like we all kind of picked, but it really isn't nearly as bad. I woke up today, and I've been very, very honest about this stuff. I'm fully, on his side. I get a little anxiety. It's like, I worry that this is going to... And at the same time, if actual evidence were to come out that he did bad things, that would sway me, if there's actual evidence. But the thing is, okay, again, these are things that we already know. I made the tweet as a joke. Guys, like, breaking news, Johnny Depp does drugs. Like, do we know that, Mr. Roddenborn? Did we know that he did drugs? The only thing they have on him is all of his texts, which, funny story behind the scenes with that, they weren't even supposed to have his texts. His team accidentally gave him, I believe, 70,000 text messages of the last 10 years, and that was in 2020. So I think they have text messages from 2010 all the way up to 2020. That's insane, and that's a big mistake on his side. Amber, on the other hand, from what I've heard, gave them zero text, so they don't have any text messages from her. That's odd. I believe she uses the cloud so that they're kind of, like, you can't actually take them from her. You can't actually use them, so it's odd. And I guess the point here is this. They have 10 years of his life. They have all the messages he's ever sent to everybody, including, I guess, Amber, right, around him. And in those 10 years, this is the worst they found. Is it okay to say the stuff about the drowning and the burning, that stuff with Paul Bettany? No, I don't condone that. I would never do that myself. I've never done that myself. Maybe we can check my phone. Like, I don't think that's cool. I don't think it's cool saying some of the stuff he said about her to other people. At the same time, if she is a demon, which, debatable, I think in a good way, I would understand how that kind of drives you to mental insanity. So what you have here, and yes, it of course is her side, and they're only going to be picking at certain things, is like, well, how do you know she's not causing him to do all this stuff? So when you say, oh, well, you said, or this is the way you acted here, or this is what you did on this day, well, how do you know she's got nothing to do with that? In fact, she probably has a lot to do with that. Now, then they'll bring in, well, you say how little of help she was during your detoxing, but then you messaged her mom and you said how great she was. And it's like, I don't think, and I hope, this stuff is not working on the jury. It's definitely not working on me. It's really not working to anybody I see online. They're focusing on the wrong things. Just because you punch a wall, okay, this wall right here, just because you punch a pillow, just because you maybe break something, does not mean you're gonna attack somebody else. In fact, you may be doing that to kind of direct your anger, direct what's inside of you. That could just be how you deal with things. That doesn't mean being drunk, or when during detoxing, or during when he's taking his opioids, those things and the way he acts does not mean at all that he attacked her. There's no proof. You can say, well, he acts this way, and you're suggesting that maybe but there's not even anything close to that. The audio recordings when he's like moaning, which was a little disturbing, was like, are you afraid of that, Amber? You're like, there's nothing to indicate, even when he's mad, even when, not even, I mean mad, yes, when he's like texting and they don't come off great, 100%, they don't come off great, but there's nothing to indicate he would ever take it to the level that she says he does. And that, ultimately, what's weird about it is yesterday they focused so heavily on the specifics of what she said. And they could have gone down that and said, well, how do you know she's talking about you? And they did a little, and it's very clear. But, how do you know she's talking about you? She never says physical abuse. It could be any kind of abuse. Like, you could go down that route. And instead, they've chosen to not, which is a bad move. And I don't think that would have worked anyway. And they're going down a route where, well, you act this kind of way. Well, yeah, but he never did anything. At worst, he broke a couple things, or he punched a wall, or he slept in a bathroom in his plane. Like, what's the issue? Again, like, these things aren't great. I would never do them. I would never want them done to me. But, like, what is it proving in this case? Nobody said he was perfect. Nobody said he didn't drink. Nobody said he never did drugs. He's been pretty open, probably way more open than he wanted to be, but he's been very open about those things. How does that help? It doesn't show anything. He's been open about it. The point is, did he ever take it that next step? And the answer, I fully believe, the answer is no. And there's no proof to show it. And it's kind of clear because all they're saying is, well, let's go to this text message. Oh, let's go to this email. Oh, let's go to this. Let's go to the over and over and over. And they're, by the way, they're jumping way too fast. They're not letting him talk. They're not letting him answer, which is a slight issue. I guess a couple other things I noticed just to kind of, clue people in on where I am. I still love the way he's handling it. The thing, I was worried, and we said this in these videos. They let him talk a lot, his side. He can tell stories for literally for days. You know what I mean? He's got that ability. If you break that, if you stop him, what happens? And I was worried the answer would be kind of more like confusion, not being able to hold up, maybe getting. And he has gotten a couple stories crossed, which I wouldn't really prefer that he does, like the taking the hands off of the girl that was on Amber. I have nothing really wrong with that, like sticking up and like, what are you doing? And obviously she was under the influence of certain things, right? I've really as long as it was like peaceful, you're not like grabbing them in your throat. But like, but he said he didn't, and then in 2020 he said he did. So like, you got to get your story straight on that. But even those kind of things, it's like, well, again, like you forget. I do believe you do forget. You know what I mean? I don't think it was super malicious or anything. So, but I do think Johnny, how he's done, has been really good. He's handled things. Anytime he can, it seems like he throws in those quick remarks like, you're consistently reading them good. Like when he says, am I reading that right? He says, yeah, you keep reading them good. Or then he'll correct him on something, or, stuff like that. Or when he's talking and he's like, well, I didn't finish my answer, or, things about hearsay and stuff. Like, he's good. And I do not think Amber can even come close to that kind of charisma. But it shows a more human. You see him as Jack, you see him as all this kind of stuff, fine. And maybe that's a bad thing, maybe it's a good thing, whatever. But that shows him, I truly believe, as a human being. That's how he acts. You know what I mean? If he has the opportunity to throw in a quick thing, or he's kind of confused in the moment of where he's supposed to look like, he just kind of throws something out there, and it's good. And I think it kind of rocks that Rottenborn, where it's like, I'm not used to people doing this. I think it's I don't think it's like shaking him to his core, and he's like, forgetting the next question he's going to ask Johnny or anything, but I think it's working. And I also hope it's definitely working on me. I hope the jury, maybe like cracks a smile or at least takes a mental note where it's like, this is something a real human being would do. You know what I mean? Where they're kind of just throwing these things. And he's getting attacked. I mean, he's getting assassinated by this guy. And his assassination attempt is just, were you under the influence here? Did you do this here? Did you do that? And it's like, well, again, like, I would never do it. But does that make him an evil person? Not even that. Does it prove your point? Yes, so what he did that? Does it prove that he, that he slammed the refrigerator door on her head? Does it prove that? Can you show me when that happened? You can't. You literally can't. He's got the evidence. And, if I was burned on the face with a cigarette and my finger was cut off, I think I'd be a little upset in my text messages too. Like, that's another thing. Again, while I wouldn't necessarily go about it the way he did, or, some of the texts is like, ooh, but I don't think that ultimately will matter. But, you read it and it's like, ooh, Johnny, But like, at the same time, this is not just a guy who had to deal with Amber. He was dealing with the trauma his whole life. He said that. And I think there's many people that have been in that situation, as you're seeing every day, kind of come forward and say, yeah, I was a victim of this or this. That's exactly how it is. So many people said, I was abused by my wife. That's Johnny, that was me. That's exactly how it is. How many people have you seen do that? So not only did he have to deal with that in the moment, which was probably hell on earth, but also like he still had the trauma from his mom and his dad, really, right, from his childhood. His whole life he's had that. So and you compound those things, and then Amber takes advantage, and again, you're paying for all these things for Amber and all this, right? And she just takes advantage over and over. She gets under your skin. Again, even from what the defense has shown, it's like, oh, and a funny one was like, well, did she help, with the thing? And he's like, no. It's like at first she was, or you would think, you know what I mean? It's like, no, she never had his well-being front and center. So I think he's doing good. Now, again, there's 2 hours left from the time that I'm recording this video, so there's more. This will be it. This will be the video for the day. Maybe tomorrow or the next day we can do a recap of the week. I can talk about next week, stuff like that. Those will be kind of upcoming videos. I have other videos planned, by the way, for the court, kind of fun, different ones that I'll try and throw in there. But this will be today's kind of recap, highlight thing, and then we'll do a recap maybe of the whole week, how I feel about it, and we'll go from there, okay? So there's more, but I doubt anything massive is going to happen because really it's the same play on him. I don't think they're going to change it up. It's the same idea of what they're trying to get him at. I don't really think it shows anything. So let me know what you guys thought of, today's trial in the comments. Let me know what you want to see in these future videos. I'm trying to, I'll change things depending on how you guys want me to do it. I like the idea of it being, a little legal. I'm trying to talk about specifics, but also kind of just my emotional feel of how the day went. I think I'm good with doing those things. I can't really do the full-on lawyer thing, right? So hopefully you guys like the way it's been going, but you can let me know in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. We'll try to do a video today or tomorrow, and I hope to see you guys there.